people didn't start a pit at a rock show at that point.
Oh, really? Right, right.
1984. That was
Yeah,
only
yeah.
something, even like all the idiotic videos of people doing somersaults into the crowd at metal shows like Metallica and Slayer
It
and
wasn't really a
Megadeth.
circle pit. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those hadn't been out there yet.
yeah.
Right, right.
Or they weren't really well seen. So like the larger rock and metal crowd had no idea what a pit was.
Welcome. We are Neil,
Luke.
And Dave.
340-somethings, reminiscing on the runners and riders of 90s guitar music.
We look at the bands who soundtracked our youth on both sides of the pond and interview some of our heroes from the bands that defined a generation.
You'll hear about the good, the bad, and the ugly of 90s guitar music.
This podcast is Stupid and Contagious. Episode 115, the Stupid and Contagious podcast. So this week we're having a chat with Jesse Townley, also known as Jesse Luscious. That's right, isn't it, Luke?
That's right. Yeah.
I've done
He's
my
also
research.
known as Jesse Dangerous, Jesse
Ooh,
Blatz, and
right.
Jesse Snot at different points in his life.
Oh, right.
Was
Basically,
Snot
it's-
in primary school?
Probably. Yeah.
He's a guy, Jesse was heavily involved in the East Bay punk scene. It's a really interesting conversation. I didn't know much about it myself, so I found it really interesting. I think you will too. So that's coming later on in the show. But before that, Dave, what's going on in Alfriston?
Happy
Give
to
us
see
some
the
boy
return of the
update.
jerkin, Dave. The new jerkin is back. It's good to see.
Yeah, it's bloody freezing. Our boiler's broken again.
It's quite
Mm.
funny because,
So
you know,
it's
we
cold.
can
No way to
sort of
talk about
compare-
your wife.
We were comparing you to Partridge last week. You're saying I've been watching his new sketch, and he mentions jerkins quite frequently in those episodes.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
do
It's
dress a
quite
bit
good, isn't it?
Partridge.
It is good to meet Partridge.
He is my
I do
hero.
quite like it.
Yeah.
I just have to
Oh,
see his
that's-
face and I laugh. He's just,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
good.
so funny.
It's good. Yeah,
Those
it's fun.
cutouts where he's drinking his tea on the step.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
so
just
funny.
his face. It's good. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Have you been watching the
Go
new
on.
South Park series? If we're talking about TV, have you been watching the new South Parks?
I don't watch cartoons. Don't watch
It's
cartoons.
very, very good.
Never watched. Never
It's very
been
good.
into Simpsons, South Park, any of that. I can't watch cartoons. Sorry.
They're going after Trump very, very hard. It's very good.
That's good.
Yeah, this week's
good.
probably the most outrageous one. I think it's good. It's good.
What do
Probably
they
shut
do?
'em down
It's quite
soon.
risky to do that, isn't it?
Well, they've got this ongoing storyline where where Satan is pregnant with Trump's butt baby. And they had this ridiculous thing this week where they explained it by he was in the Bible, like Satan's like a fallen angel, right? And
Mm.
as punishment for being kicked out of heaven, they made his bum hole so small that no one would be able to penetrate it ever. Until Donald Trump comes along, who's got the tiniest penis in history that was finally able to penetrate Satan's arsehole, which is why he's pregnant with the Antichrist.
That's brilliant.
So good, man. So good.
Dave, tell us about your boiler. Come on, what's happening?
Well, the boiler's broken, and we had a horrible smell in the house the other day. I didn't know what it was.
Sorry about that. I only put round to say hello.
I know it turned out to be
Was it
Neil.
after you'd done your Duolingo or before?
That's a normal one.
Yeah.
What
No,
was
but
it?
it's quite. It would interest those that are interested in drainage systems.
Okay,
Who
I'm
isn't?
sure
But
there's
I
some
don't know-
people listening.
I don't know if there's a cross section with our listeners or not.
Yeah, there'd be some.
Right, you
people,
see, we get that. So, when it rains, because it's an old
Mm.
apartment, so the smell of the drains comes up through the drainage drainer in the bathroom. So we always have to keep like a plastic thing on it at all times to keep the smell out. So it's just like you thing you buy for the sink. We just have one of those and we cut it
Well, I mean,
into the right size and
interestingly,
shape
like,
and put that on.
installing the shower and stuff in the van. I've had to learn about U-bends and all that sort of thing. It's interesting.
They
Yeah.
exist for a reason, right? Yeah.
Right.
But you're right, Neil. So this problem did turn out to be a U-bend that had dried up.
Oh, there you go.
But the smell didn't come from that shower. We never use it, so that's why it dried up.
Is that in the guest wing?
That's in the guest wing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got 5 showers to choose from.
Fucking hell. Imagine having a spare shower.
That's just in the downstairs toilet, just sitting there.
Yeah.
Shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have it removed one day.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Turn it into a
the smell
sauna.
didn't come there, so that means there was a bit of an air gap somewhere else, and because it was lower down or something, the pressure pushed the smell right through the house out somewhere else.
Right.
And the smell wasn't of sewers, it's like of petrol.
Well, that smell you were talking about the other day.
Yeah. But then,
Right.
obviously GPT said it's probably that U-bend, fill it with water. So I did, and the smell's
Bloody
gone.
good, that GPT guy.
There
isn't
you
he?
go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it could be a girl. I'm not sure if GPT is gender
Well, it
neutral.
doesn't have a gender, does it?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
It's an AI.
I think they know everything. It's a bloke.
Right, okay. But he does know everything, though, this one.
with a god complex. It's just definitely a bloke.
Yeah. But it's usually right, so it's probably not a bloke. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So,
if you think it's right, I've been using ChatGPT this week actually for my
Oh,
work.
good.
I've been running my
Yeah.
papers through it and getting really
yeah,
useful
I like
feedback.
it. I like it. It's good. It's useful.
And it says it asks what kind of feedback. It says, do you want feedback like a supportive colleague, or do you want feedback from a strict journal editor and stuff like that? It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I know it's going to put a lot of people out of work and stuff, but I don't think it really affect me, so I'm not overly bothered.
As long as you're all right.
No, I am bothered. Because if people haven't got money, they're not gonna book me, are they? So it's just a knock on, isn't it? We'll see what happens. See how far it goes. A bit of music news. Did you see that? Did you see I posted that new Ash song up the other day? Yesterday.
Didn't have a chance to. I didn't listen, but I saw you
man.
posted it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you'll like it, but it's probably my favourite Ash song ever. It's great.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really good, really jangly guitars, a bit Smith's guitars. But it's not Smith's, there's no Morrissey involved or anything like that. It's good, it's just a really great song,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
it. Listener John went to see them last week. They came in Japan.
Ash.
They came to Japan. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
He said they were brilliant. Yeah. I think he said
Yeah,
three or
I
four
saw
songs
them
from the new record, and they were great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I'm going to have to give the album a proper. I've had a quick listen, but I'm going to give it a proper listen. But yeah, still making great music.
Yeah, I got another gig review from our correspondent Jasper.
Go on, Luke.
I got another gig review from Jasper, who's usually our Oasis correspondent, but he went to the Jesus Jones EMF Biss gig at Shepherd's Bush.
Oh yeah, so I went
Empire.
to that last year, but yeah.
Yeah, so he said, Jesus Jones, very good. EMF, batshit crazy. That's the review.
They are. They're quite sort of spontaneous on stage, I think. They do a lot of sort of...
He said Biss got up on
covers
stage
and
with them
stuff.
for one song.
Yeah, it's quite chaotic. It's a bit of a party.
And
They're
I heard
great.
they brought on Utah Saints for one song as a secret guest, I think.
Right. That's good. These bands still making great music, doing great live gigs. So, still relevant, aren't they?
Yeah, that's why we're here.
But yeah, no, genuinely, that Ash song is brilliant.
All right.
It's just a brilliant song. And then they did that cover as well that I told you about as well. For the Beetlejuice song. That's on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I listened to that. I heard that. Yeah, that's good.
What do you think? It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, great. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dave, you were saying Charlatans, is that the new album you've been listening to, is it?
Well, it's the album's not out, but they've got a couple of songs out.
Yeah, they're good,
But
right?
it's on Radio 2 quite a lot. But
Yeah.
it's like the poppiest song they've ever done, but I really like it.
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker
I
for
like
pop.
I like their last single, so I haven't really heard the new one. But yeah, no, they're still making great music. Yeah. good, isn't it?
Great. What a time to be alive.
I watched an interview of Richard Ashcroft, and he was talking about he was just talking about himself a lot of the time, but he was
Always
talking. He was saying how all these 90s bands, they might sort of inspire a new generation of people to start bands and stuff. But I think people
I was
are
thinking
still
that,
starting
actually.
bands,
Pick
but
up
I
guitars.
think that's just the bubble that we live in, right? I don't know if the young people are necessarily thinking, oh, look at all these 90s bands. I don't know. Are they?
I think they are. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't they listen to this podcast then?
Because we're a bunch of old twats. But they like it.
Talking about fucking drainage systems and boilers.
But they like
For
the
fuck's
music. And they are picking up guitars again.
I hope so, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's good. Oh, and I had another. It's pretty shocking fact on X. I think it was. I think it's Chris Evans just saying it. He said there hasn't been a number one single for a band in the UK for over 10 years.
I heard that as well. That's insane.
What about Coldplay? Surely.
An album, a number one album, but not a number one single.
Yeah, not number one singles.
What about that one they did with BTS?
I think it.
Well, there
I don't know.
hasn't been one, so
That's it.
probably got quite close.
All right, I'll
Probably
just
number two
accept
or
the
something.
fact. Okay.
That's GPT.
That's it. Ask your mate, Chappie. People call him Chappie
But
in
that's-
Japan.
I mean, it isn't so shocking when you think about it. Like, you still get they're still topping the album charts, but yeah,
but
the
not the
singles. It's just people
It'd be
don't
good to
really
get him
buy
back in the singles
like-
charts, though, wouldn't it? It'd be good to get guitar music back. Be great.
Yeah. 10 years. 10 bloody years.
Come on, kids.
Well, it might, more than 10 years. I saw a clip of Brooklyn Beckham's band the other day. It was quite
yeah.
good. Did you see that?
Yeah, they. They got that song that sounds like Nirvana, right?
Yeah, they're just
Is
quite.
that them?
Oh no, that's
Like,
not Brooklyn Beckham. That's
what am I getting confused with?
you're getting confused with Liam Gallagher's son.
Oh, I am.
Villanelle or
Yeah.
whatever.
Sorry.
Is it
Yeah.
Villanelle? Something like that.
It's got that
They
Nirvana
are good
riff.
though. Yeah, but no, Brooklyn Beckham's son, he's in a band and he's singing. And they're quite good. Quite sort of
Right.
indie. Yeah. Quite a 90s sound actually, so maybe they are getting influenced by them.
There you go.
There you go. All go on the 90s scene, isn't it?
Sure.
Right, so should we get into this week's podcast episode?
Let's do
What
it, man.
about Luke's news?
Oh, I don't have
Okay.
anything. Although I will say,
What's that?
thanks to Facebook commenter John Vernon, who tipped me off about, I was talking last week about that book that Alex recommended, Kill Your Friend.
It's always
And he told me there was a
spanking
film of
people
it,
on
which I didn't know. No, it's just a guy on our Facebook page, and he said, "Oh, there's a film of it
Yeah.
with Nicholas Hoult." And I said,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I
great!
saw
I
that,
love
yeah.
Nicholas Hoult." So I watched it last night. It was good. So thanks for that. Thanks for the heads up. Not as good as the book,
Yeah.
but it was still good.
Yeah.
But it did have James Corden in it.
Oh, that's
So you like
disappointing.
him?
Does anyone? Oh, no, well, he did get beaten to death in the film, so there's that.
Beaten to death.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go into this week's episode with Jesse Townley, or as I like to call him, Jesse Luscious. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So if you are watching this, please rate, review. If you're watching this, subscribe, get involved in the comments, and that's it, innit? Subscribe, yeah. And if you're listening, rate, review. Still no reviews. And share it with your friends so they can find the podcast. We're still getting sponsored by the Royal Whitby Hotel, Royal Whitby Events. So Dave is going to inspire you with what's going on there at the moment. Dave, come on, should be
Well, the
used to
next
this
thing
now.
up. The next thing is 31st to the 2nd of November is Goth Weekend and The Revenant.
I'll see you there.
4 bands every night for 3 nights, including the
See you
9
there.
Inch Nails tribute.
Probably only going for the 9 Inch Nails night, but we'll be going. So
Are you really
see you
going?
there if you go. I think so, yeah.
Are they called
Might
like
have a
6-inch
room.
nails or something?
I don't know. I think they're just. I don't know if they've got a name. I think they might just be called like, I don't know. I'm not sure.
What would you call it? If you had a Nine Inch Nails tribute band, what would you call them?
I'd say something like Screws. Use Screws instead of nails.
Right, 9 Inch Screws. Right.
Or something like that. Self-tapping screws. We've been using a lot of them lately. So
How does
think
that
people
work?
would get it?
They screw themselves in.
no, the irony is you don't tap them. You just still screw them. That's what those screws are called. They're called self-tapping screws. Don't know why. Answer on a postcard or in the comments. Dave, what would you call a 9 Inch Nails tribute band?
You've got to have the 9 Inch Nails, innit?
Yeah,
Maybe you could change
hilarious.
9 Pinch Nails.
What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything.
Don't pinch nails.
But you've got to have the rhyming to it, though, haven't you? The sort of
Yeah, it's got to be three
alliteration.
things, hasn't it? Got to stick fairly true to the original. Go on, Luke. You were going to be hilarious. Go for it. Remember, the kids are listening. We've got to try and wean them into the podcast.
I've got nothing. I've got nothing.
Right. Okay. We'll go with Dave's then.
I was just going to say, like, bread like a hole or something. I'd have, like, I'd do, like, 9 Inch Nails songs and, like, eat croissants and shit.
What does bread like a hole mean?
I'd be singing 9 Inch Nails songs and, like, eating sandwiches on stage and stuff. I didn't tell you that I got nothing.
Yeah. I hope there's better than that. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm going to that one. What else is going on there, Dave? Come on.
Well, 7th to 8th of November is Ska and Mod Weekend, headlined by the mighty
December, do you mean?
Guitar Pop.
Did you say December or November?
November.
Next month.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You said that the goth one was November, end of 31st of November, you said. I think you misspoke. Is that
I misspoke.
October?
31st of October to 2nd of November.
That would make sense. Halloween, innit? Spooky. Oh, the ska one. Always good. Love a bit of ska. That
right,
Death of Guitar Pop. Great little ska band. Definitely get along to that. I like they're just good weekends, aren't they? The old ska mod thing.
So you going up, coming back, and then going back up again?
I'm not sure if I'm going to the ska thing. I'm probably going to go to that and the Terrorvision thing. But I might. I'm semi-retired. My work's finished for the year, so I might just sort of hang around for a couple of weeks in Whitby. Fuck it.
Sit in the van.
Before Terrorvision, on the 5th and 6th of December is Krampus and the Krampus Ball, a wild night of chilling folk rock.
Chilling folk rock? Oh, you didn't say chilling last week.
Folk rock.
So what does that mean?
It's chilling folk. What more do you want to know? It's chilling folk rock.
Folk rock.
Yeah.
You'd think of folk as being warming, though, wouldn't you?
Chilling.
Oh, really? No. I've got, like, images of, like,
witchcraft.
Planes and witchcraft and old ways of knowing and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds good, actually. I might go and get along to that one. They all sound good. I might just stay there for a couple of months. Go on.
And then on the 12th of December is Terrorvision with tributes to Green Day and Nirvana.
What would you call that?
Festive rock out
thing. Dave, what would you
Festive
call
rock
that
out.
sort of thing?
It's got to be like a Merry Christmas.
That's it.
I like it. I like it.
That'd be good, though. Nirvana, Green Day, and Terrorvision.
Yeah.
What lineup?
Yeah. It's not actually
There's
Nirvana
more.
and Green Day, but
No, but the tribute bands are usually pretty good, aren't they? Usually pretty authentic.
they are. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, Dave. What
There's
more.
more.
Else is there? What was that supposed
All
to be?
this.
What was that? Who was that an impression of?
Guy who said there's more.
On what?
Oh,
Who
yeah,
was it?
someone did
The
that.
guy who did catchphrase.
Oh, what's his name?
Walker or something.
Roy Walker.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Jimmy Lee Cricket it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Do you remember that, Luke?
We're really,
Vaguely.
we're not helping ourselves getting the kids in with this chat. They won't know Jiminy Cricket.
Go on. Where were you?
So, all this and another DTD with Retro Reindeer on the
Daytime
20th
Disco.
of December and Whitby Soul Club on the 27th of December.
There we go. All right.
Packed events. Yeah, I'm definitely
Stuff.
getting along to some of them. So, Dave, I think you might come to the television thing, right?
Well, I was hoping to come to Shine On.
I know that
I'm not
offer's
going
been
all the way to
retracted.
when.
Well, you
Just
didn't
now.
get back to me, so I gave it to someone else.
You're fucking kidding me.
Yeah, I am. It's still.
I didn't know I had to get back to you by a certain time. Have you really given it away?
No.
Come on, don't pretend he's
can't,
got any other
anyway.
friends. Of course he hasn't.
Well, there we go. That's this week's sponsor. So let's get on with this week's episode. Luke, tell people about Jesse Luscious.
Jesse
Townley.
I will do. Okay, see, as I said, Jesse Townley, goes by the name Jesse Luscious. And as I said before, he's had different pseudonyms over the years. But he's just a dyed-in-the-wall punk, basically. The only way to describe him, right?
A bit like me.
Exactly like you, Neil. As he says in the interview, he's originally from Philadelphia. He was kind of a high school nerd, got himself into progressive politics and social justice and stuff like that. Lived in a squat for a while. That kind of, that kind of image, basically, in the mid-'80s. And then, arrived in California in 1989 as a young 18 or 19-year-old lad, and basically got involved with the scene there. So we talk quite a lot in the interview coming up about 924 Gilman Street, which is kind of this legendary venue, which opened up in California 31st of December 1986, and it's like a volunteer-run collective, basically. Yeah, really interesting place. I watched a documentary on East Bay Punk a little while ago. What's it called? It's called The Story of East Bay Punk. No, it's called Turn It Around, The Story of East Bay Punk. And that was really good. There's another documentary which I'm halfway through, just about Gilman Street. But interesting place. So they had this policy: no sexism, no racism, no homophobia, no transphobia, no drugs, no alcohol, no violence was their club policy, basically.
Can you do
pretty
that?
Progressive back then. I know. Imagine not being able to go out and be transphobic. What the fuck? What the fuck, man?
I know.
What can you do?
Can't even put a flag up these days.
You can't. No, you can't even racially abuse someone these days.
No.
Jesus Christ. But having all that, up in in kind of mid-'80s, it's pretty amazing, right? And they adhered to it pretty strictly. So he talks about it in the interview. He started a band called Blatz. Boy girl vocals. As he said, it's kind of a chaotic, kind of a six-piece, but not everyone was always there. To me, they sound like an American Huggy Bear. Yeah, because of the kind of the short-lived nature of them. They only released one split album called The Shit Split with a band called The Filth, and a 5-track 7-inch and another split 7-inch. This is like 1990, 1991. But they reformed for just a one-off show in 2013, which was... who talks about it in the interview, so I won't go into it. But they put out an album of that live show, which is really good. So after that, he formed a band called The Grups. That's GR''UPS. And again, with members from Blatz. So it's still kind of a boy-girl kind of punk thing. They had a weird kind of like nursery rhyme lyric theme to a lot of their songs. Don't know why.
I quite like that.
yeah, nursery rhyme lyrics with punk rock guitars, basically.
Like what?
Again, I was looking through like the track list, and one was called like Red Riding Hood, and one was called something else, and I don't know. But again, they're very short-lived, very chaotic. They only put out couple of singles and a couple of tracks on compilation albums and stuff like that. But there was like an album of their full discography released a few years ago with quite a few tracks on it. So that's 92, 93. He then moved on and he formed The Criminals, which are probably the most solid band that he had, basically. So 94 to 2000, 3 full-length albums and a load of singles. And a couple of the albums were produced by Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, who was good friends with. And again, played the Gilman Street, of course, back in the day. All of these kind of 90s West Coast punk bands that got famous. Like we talk about in the interview, but the Offspring and Green Day and Rancid and stuff. All of those played in that venue.
Yeah.
That's the Criminals. And they also did Reform for a few years as well in the mid 2010s. Then he had a band called the Frisk with
they called
guy
the
from
Tens these
AFI.
days. Just for the kids listening, it's just called the Tens. You don't say 2010s.
that right?
You just say the Tens.
Oh, do you?
Ah.
Yeah,
Huh.
of course. The
The
noughties, the Tens.
Yeah. It's not going to be the 1910s, is it? So, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
What about the next
Yeah.
decade?
30s.
20s.
We're in the
Oh, yeah,
20s.
yeah. Sorry, yeah, of course. That's the one we're in.
Yeah.
I'm in the 20s.
With a
Just
guy
for the
from
kids.
AFI and some other guy. They had a couple of albums out, 2001, 2003. Then after that, he worked for Lookout Records, and he also spent 15 years basically working for Alternative Tentacles record label, which is Jello Biafra's from Dead Kennedys record label. And he talks about it quite a lot in the interview, so I won't go into it. But he was basically running the label for 15 years. He had a band called The Pathogens as well a few years ago with a couple of members from Tilt, who are another band from that era. They had one album called We're Catchy. It's a good name for a band called The Pathogens, right? The Pathogens. The album's called We're Catchy.
That's a great bad name album combo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And yeah, good stuff. Again, pop punk. And then most recently he's in a band called Scene Killers with a friend of the podcast, Austin Smith, who goes in the Facebook page. He appeared on our end of the year show as well. And he's the one that put me in touch with Jesse. So big thanks to Austin for basically making sure ensuring this episode happened. And they've put out 2 albums, Beat Beat Beat, which I've got there, and Bare Hands and Bayonets, and a mini album as well called Rev It Up. And yeah, most of their stuff is on Bandcamp, so check that out. And yeah, thanks to Austin for putting me in touch with Jesse. And that's pretty much the guy.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
So let's have a listen to the interview, and then we'll have a chat afterwards. Here's Jesse Townley. Enjoy. Jesse, thanks so much for coming on. Where are you zooming in from today? Where are we coming from?
I live in Nottingham, England now.
Mm. Yeah.
It's all right,
East
Nottingham.
Midlands. Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Nottingham. It's nice.
How long have you been based in the UK?
Since 2019, moved over here, had an opportunity, grabbed it, new chapter. So
Yeah.
right now, looking at the US, it's looking like a very lucky move.
I was just about to ask.
I think we're going the same way over here, to be fair. But yeah, I think we're a bit behind at the moment.
Thankfully, I'm still here. That's a good bellwether.
Yeah. So no plans to go back to Trump's America anytime soon?
No, my band Scene Killers, we went for 8 shows in 9 days in April.
Yeah.
And I think that's the last time I'm going to be back for a long time.
Yeah, it's totally fucked, right?
Yeah. I mean, it really stinks because, I mean, obviously, maybe not obviously, but obviously I stay very up on the news, but we just got our residency here in the UK, so we don't need visas anymore to stay here. Now I'm really paying much more attention to UK politics, and I feel I can be a little more vocal about things that I felt that I couldn't be when I just had a visa, even though, most of your listeners know, it switched from 14 years of Tory/conservative rule to Labour, which is kind of moderate Democrats in terms of US. Anyway, but even so, like, I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. So it's still a little dicey. But anyway,
Yeah.
But I do want to say that when I went back to the States, I saw a lot of family, saw a lot of friends. It was great to see everybody. The shows went wonderfully. But I had the crazy conversation of, do you have a passport and do you have an exit strategy? Many, many, many times, which I never thought that, I mean, not to be exceptionalist, but the US has been a pretty strong democracy for most of its history, even with all of its flaws and oversights. It's still been, it's been getting better bit by bit. until very, very recently.
Yeah.
But I never thought that I would be having a conversation about the US. Like if I was talking about, I don't name a country, it would make sense, but not there. But it's true.
No.
And, and I'm hoping, and we played with a lot of trans and gay and lesbian bands. Like our friends Middle Aged Queers put us on, helped organize a lot of the shows, and we played with this great band called Trap Girl in LA. Great effing band. Their full length record is absolutely fantastic, and the singer, she's awesome. She's trans. She's like, I don't know what I'm going to do because my passport has been held up by the government, and so I don't know. And she's stuck basically.
Right.
And it's not just her. And I have a lot of friends who are trans over there who are in equally, if not even worse situations, because she's in LA, but other friends of mine are in places in the heartland, like in Kansas or Missouri, where it's much worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. USA. All right. All right. Well, can you take us back to the end of the 80s, start of the 90s, California? How did you get involved with the scene and everything?
Sure. I'm from Philly originally, on the East Coast. And my first concert was in 1984. I went to go see Joan Jett, the Blackhearts.
Oh, wow.
My favorite band.
Nice.
And then opening was a band called the Ramones. I recognized a song by them because WMMR, one of the two local rock stations, clearly played Beat on the Brat with a baseball bat at some point, because I remember recognizing the song. I'm like, oh, I've heard this song before. But they didn't really hold my attention. Joan Jett was all, But then 2 years later, I went to my first punk show in 1986, a place called Grendel's Lair on South Street. Two of the top Philly punk bands were playing, Ruin and Electric Love Muffin, both very different bands, both pretty unique, especially Ruin. And that just blew my mind. I mean, I already had a cassette tape with Dead Milkmen on one side and Sex Pistols on the other. So I knew what was happening. And I was one of the nerds, the geeks in my high school. So there was two punks, and me and some other nerds and comic book geeks, and we were in the chess club.
Right. What's the crossover between nerd and punk?
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you have your own like little table in the canteen where you all sat together?
We've seen the John Hughes films, man. We know how shit.
Yeah, right. My high school was actually not that bad at all. It was a Quaker school, so the Society of Friends.
Right.
Yeah.
So Philly was founded by William Penn, who also founded Pennsylvania, Penn's Woods.
Sure.
And in 1689, and and he was a Quaker, and he and the Quakers were fleeing persecution from here in England, and like a lot of the various sects that went to the New World.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I grew up in my high school, and
this is in Philadelphia.
Yeah. And the Friends, the Quakers, the Friends, their headquarters for the U.S. was a block away from my high school, and there were also they leased offices for progressive organizations like CISPIS, which was the Committee for something El Salvador.
Okay.
And there were anti-Somoza, pro-Sandinista organizations, anti-nuclear, pro-nuclear freeze organizations in there.
Yeah.
So it was very much
progressive.
Very progressive. Anti-Reagan stuff going on.
Sure.
So, and that was kind of, and like my my background, my parents and my grandparents were FDR liberals, so the New Deal, and they fought in World War II, but they supported civil rights. My parents marched in civil rights marches as white people, and so I kind of had that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway, so fast
You said
forward.
it blew you away. So what
Yeah.
was the difference between a Joan Jett show and a punk show? What was the difference?
I sat down. Well, there were seats at the Joan Jett show.
Sure. Yeah.
And the people didn't start a pit at a rock show at that point.
Oh, really? Right.
1984.
Yeah.
That was only something. Even like all the idiotic videos of people doing somersaults into the crowd at metal shows like Metallica and Slayer, and
It wasn't really a
Megadeth.
circle pit. Yeah.
Those hadn't been out there yet.
Right.
Or they weren't really well seen. So like the larger rock and metal crowd had no idea what a pit was.
Yeah. Huh. Wow. Did you get involved in the pit in that first show? Were you too scared to jump in?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was definitely on the edge of it.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
I was 15 going on 16. Of course, I'm going to be interested. Like, what's all that?
Yeah. And were you like, this is me now? I'm a punk. This is my identity for the rest of my life.
I totally identified with it. I mean, I was already, based on my background, like tilted towards justice and progressivism. And then like I had already discovered the anarchist bookstore in town called the Wooden Shoe, which is still there. And I ended up volunteering there momentarily, actually, soon afterwards, for a couple of years. I ended up moving into a squat in West Philly as soon as I graduated high school in 1988. So like it was a very quick switch over. But it made sense. Like nothing was.
Yeah, the linear progression. Sure.
Yeah, it was linear. Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So how did you get out west?
Well, in the States, there's the phrase "Go west, young man."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
In search of a new fortune. Is that what it means?
Yeah, basically, I moved out west with the intention. I had a very short collegiate career at a university called Antioch College. There, it's the equivalent of university here, but because here college is
it's confusing. It gets fucking confusing.
11th and 12th grades in the US.
Yeah. Sixth form college.
It's after
university. Yeah.
University. Yeah. But basically, and that lasted about 3 months, and then I was just like, oh, this is a waste of time and resources for everybody involved. I spent time in Chicago, spent time in New Haven, Connecticut. Lots of crazy stories. Moved back into the squat in Philly. Ended up traveling across the U.S. with two friends in my little Mazda GLC. Great little car. A 79 Mazda GLC is a hatchback. It had all of my crap in it and two other people, and we just drove straight across 3 days, no stopping. We just switched drivers, and 3,000 miles, 3 days. Let's go.
Wow. And were you a musician by this point? Was it?
I've been in a band in my high school, that we played a talent show. We got 2 songs in, got cut off, and I got suspended. So yes.
Why did you get suspended?
We covered the Subhuman song "Slave to My Dick." Subhumans from Canada, and I dedicated it to a teacher named Dick.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
So,
That would do
that's
it.
fair enough then.
Yeah, I mean, fair dude, right?
What was the high school band called?
None in a Honda.
None in a Honda. That's good.
I'm glad it didn't stick, because I would hate to be saddled with that name 35, 40 years later.
Sure. That's great. So for people that don't know, can you talk a little bit about the 94 Gilman Street venue? Because I know that was kind of big, sure, what you were doing back then. Maybe some of our listeners and viewers might not know about it. Can you do a quick introduction to it?
Sure. 94 Gilman is an all-ages volunteer-run collective in Berkeley, California. It's on the east side of the San Francisco Bay, in the middle of California. And 94 Gilman is an all-ages volunteer-run collective in Berkeley, California. It's on the east side of the San Francisco Bay, in the middle of California. And 94 Gilman is an all-ages volunteer-run collective in Berkeley, California. It's on the east side of the San Francisco Bay, in the middle of California. And It's been there since it was opened on the 31st of December 1986, and it's been going ever since. As a collective, it was founded in part by the people behind Maximum Rock and Roll fanzine, which is one of two primary U.S. fanzines. There was Flipside and Maximum Rock and Roll, and Maximum Rock and Roll, and yeah, Flipside was in L.A., Los Angeles, and San Francisco was where Maximum was, and still is. Digitally, they don't do the magazine anymore, but they do. So anyway, as I said, like me and my pals, we crammed into my car. We went across the states to go to the 1989 anarchist gathering in San Francisco.
Wow.
And the first place, so it was basically an anarchist gathering with like a bunch of workshops and things like that. And then also had shows every night, usually punk shows. And so the first time I went to Gilman Street was this show. I'm not sure if you can see that.
Great. Yeah, can you just a little bit closer?
Yeah,
there we go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, got it.
So, yeah, MDC, Political Asylum, Easter Girls.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that,
wow. Yeah.
Political Asylum from over here in Great Britain, I think. Ramsey, was he Irish? No, Scottish, from Scotland. And so anyway,
really cool.
so this actually happened to be like right here. So
that's really cool. Yeah.
Good, so that was my first show at Gilman, and it's volunteer run. I was able to talk my way in for free. But I mean, that's basically everybody who worked there, volunteered there, had been able to, came from the scene, and for the most part, and were able to we were really good with people trying to sneak in because we had all done it ourselves.
Right.
And I did it from the very first night. But you usually like if you show up, even now, you can show up early before the doors open for the show and volunteer to work either the front door, maybe the side door, maybe cleaning up during the show or after the show. There's a snack bar in there called the store. Cool. Once you get more involved, you can run shows. You can help with the money side of things, or being a stage manager. You can get trained to do the sound a lot. I mean, you have to have sound.
Sure.
And all the sound people have either been trained there or they come in from other places. So I mean, it's every weekend, and now a bunch of weekdays they have shows there now. So it's constant. It's like a regular venue.
Amazing. Yeah.
So there's always a need for volunteers and sound people, and it is collective. So that means that there are personalities, and I learned really early on I didn't have to like the people I volunteered with, which was, once I had that epiphany, things are so much.
Yeah.
I'm sure people who worked with me felt the same way. At least a couple.
I know they had like the rules, no sexism, no racism, no alcohol was an interesting one for me. How did they make that stay? Because I think, I don't know, people okay with that, going out to shows without drinking?
They had to be.
Yeah.
If they wanted to come inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. We basically told people 2 blocks away. That was the mantra for anything, whether it was fighting or graffitiing or drinking or doing drugs. We'd rather you didn't do any of those in or around the club. Yeah. But, and so, yeah, I mean, one of the only groups of people at Gilman Street who are paid are the security, or at least some of the security. That was one of the jobs that I did that was paid there. One of the only jobs I did there that was paid. And I ended up hating the people who showed up there because I was like, okay, which one is going to pull a knife on me? Which one is going to pull a chain on me?
Oh, wow.
Right. Which one is going to try to threaten me and try to attack me? So I ended up hating humanity more than I usually do.
Sure.
So I quit doing the security side of things.
Yeah.
And people who can do that long term, bless them. I'm a patient person, but they are very.
Yes, the whole security thing. I've never got. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that sort of thing. Well, I'm a pacifist, so it doesn't really work.
I'm not a pacifist, but I tend to use. We were very good with not beating people up. We were very good with
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
grabbing people and just rushing them outside with using our
That's
bodies
it.
just full on. And partly because over in San Francisco, there's this longtime promoter, rock and roll guy named Bill Graham, and he had this thing called Bill Graham Presents, and he put on all of the hoary hippie 60s bands in the 60s. And he's the person who really pioneered the kind of cattle drive nature of big concerts where there's big, beefy security with flashlights, and they're very rude and aggressive and authoritarian. That's all
Right.
program.
Yeah.
And, and
Right.
people being pulled out the back door and getting beaten with flashlights by Bill Graham security. Not an uncommon story.
Yeah.
In the Bay Area. So we had a really good example of what not to do.
Sure. To go against that. Yeah.
That we had all experienced.
Sure. Sure.
And also being an egalitarian punk place, we don't want to be violent assholes saying, don't fight, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there were definitely, that's not to say that there wasn't conflict. That's not to say that Nazis were not chased down the street. It's not to say that, I mean,
did you even have that problem over there in America? Did you have like skinhead bands and stuff over there? Or no, skinheads, not bands, but skinheads coming to the shows and shit? Was that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Fuck.
Yeah. All over in the 80s, all over the place. And then into the 90s. It did happen here. I think it's the podcast that tells a story in Portland where Nazi skinheads murdered an Ethiopian guy, and it interviews all of the sharps, skinheads against racial prejudice, and anti-racist action members, ARA members, who literally fought against the Portland's Nazi skinheads from the 80s into the 90s. And that was up and down the West Coast. We had Bob Hike from White Aryan Resistance down in Southern California. There were the San Francisco skinheads, the San Francisco Nazi skinheads. Obviously, we all know skinheads can be different flavors.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
But specifically, I'm talking about the Nazi ones, and they were opposed by sharps, skinheads against racial prejudice. There was Bay Area anti-racist action, and basically, they would come to Gilman Street, and the Nazis would come to Gilman Street and hang out outside and try to drink and like threaten people and call people, epithets, whatever. And then they'd get chased off. They would, huff and puff and, and then they'd be talked away and, to come back the next weekend and basically repeat. And so basically, eventually that started they started coming in more and more numbers, and then eventually, but they were also really not really strategic about it. Like 20 Nazis showed up to a sold out anti-racist benefit with MDC and this local hip hop group from Oakland called the APG Crew. So they roll up, and then the entire crowd just pours out of Gilman Street to confront them, and they're like, okay, and they ran.
I think that's one through.
Yeah, so that's one thing.
They're not the smartest of people usually, right?
Usually not. Yeah. I mean, and in the punk scene, there was a very big argument that sometimes you see today, not so much, but you do, between people who were like, don't use fists, use your words, persuade people, and other people were like, F that, they're Nazis, hit them.
Sure. Which side do you tend towards?
Well, at the time, I was much more on the let's persuade them, we could talk to them, whatever. Through my experience through those years to now, I'm more of it depends on the person and the situation.
Sure.
The fresh cuts, like the summer soldiers, you can probably you can either persuade them or you can just give them one good beating and they're done.
Sure.
But like the ones who are in it for good, who are true believers, I think it's more about social and physical exclusion. Um, and that's honestly what happened. Like most of those people self-deported north to Portland, to Seattle. Unfortunately for those cities, to
Yeah.
Sacramento, which is the capital of California, north
Mm.
of the Bay Area. Um,
Mm.
and they ended up growing out their hair, becoming rockabillys or just dirtbags.
Right. Huh. Interesting.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so a lot of them just kind of dissipated, but the skinheads stuck around, the ones who weren't Nazis.
Mm.
And there's always been a very strong uh, crossover between skinheads and punk rock
Yeah, sure.
in the States from the 90s on.
Mm.
Before,
Mm.
they were kind of different,
Mm.
related. Um, I've gotten targeted by skinheads in the Pit in Philly, and then in New Haven, Connecticut. Some of my friends were skinheads, so suddenly I was in the Pit with them around me, and I was like, "Oh, now they're my friends. This is weird." Because I was always a
Yeah.
punk. I always had, like,
Yeah.
funny hair, and
Sure.
I
Yeah.
was just like, I'm not a fucking skinhead.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. All right. How about music? What bands were you watching? Early
oh, Gilman.
90s. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Going to see.
Well, I mean, a lot of the bands on that flyer, MDCS, I've seen. Can't tell you how many times.
Mm.
I mean, Neurosis, when they came out with
Oh,
The
wow.
Word Is Law, I was just like, what is this music?
Mm.
I was in Blatz.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how did they come together then? Talk a little bit
Oh,
about Blatz.
sure. Let me just tell you, though, that the reason I mentioned Blatz is because we put out a split record called The Shit Split with this band Filth.
Yeah.
Filth were one of my favorite, and still are one of my favorite bands ever. Um, the band that played my very first punk show, Ruin, they had come out to the Bay Area and spent 2 weeks out in the Bay Area. So when I got out there, people were like, "Oh, you're from Philly. You know Ruin, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know the best band in the world? Really?" So like, but like, there's so many great bands. I mean, and a lot of the more melodic stuff, like I was just learning. Like, I hadn't heard the Buzzcocks, but I grew up, with Green Day and 15 and Mr. T Experience and later Groovy Ghoulies and all those bands that were on the melodic side of things, Winona Riders, all the East Bay punk, the classic East Bay punk pop punk sound.
Sure.
And Rancid, of course.
Yeah.
I was in a band with Matt Friedman called The Corrupts. It was me and Anna Joy from Blatz, Kamala from Fallen the Carnivores, Deb, who was later in Malcriada and some other bands, and then Matt on rockabilly guitar. That was The Grubs. That was after Blatz. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So Blatz. So was that your first kind of proper band after none in Honda?
No, there was in my short collegiate career at Antioch College. I had a band called Project Y, which was played 3 shows and was basically a bundle of chaos. Like those 3 shows was kind of like the 2 years of the chaos of Blatz collapsed into 3 shows. And one of the songs that Blatz put out is actually a song that I wrote for Project Y.
Oh,
Hustler, the song about being a pool hustler. So anyway, but no, so it was my second real band, but the first one that went longer than 3 shows. I tried out for another band when I got to the Bay Area, but nothing happened. Like, I didn't take. And honestly, I wasn't planning to be in music. I was planning to join. I was trying to find an art magazine somewhere to join. But then I walked into Gilman Street, and that was kind of it for me. I was like, okay, well, I got some. This is music.
Sure.
But Blatz was practicing in the office at Gilman. It was just Joey on drums, Marshall on bass, and Eggplant on guitar. And I walked in because I was booking there, and I was like, oh, okay, you guys are practicing here. And they were like, oh, we need a singer. You're that new kid from Philly. You want to try? I'm like, yeah, sure. And so I fitted the Hustler song up from Project Y to Blatz. And then they had this song that was really, really weirdly put together. It's an Eggplant song. And somehow I was lucky enough to figure out a catchy way to put words to it, which is fuck shit up. So, I mean, if you think about it, structurally, it's like dun, 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 repeat. It's like, what the hell? You know, but it worked out, obviously.
Yeah.
Because people know that song. So which is great. I'm happy they do. And then, so then we just kept on going and we started playing shows and it was just chaos. Like I've always been somebody who believes that you want to leave people who see a band. I want them to have an opinion about the band, positive or negative. I'm not so picky, frankly.
Yeah.
But if you just sit there and you're boring and you're faceless and unmemorable, why are you performing in public?
Totally agree. Yeah. I'd rather see a bad band than a mediocre one. Yeah.
Or a mediocre one. At least I can leave and like fuck off and do my own thing for a while and come back.
Sure. Yeah.
So but so then I would get naked. Like the first show I got naked. It was in Eggplant's backyard, and that was a lot of fun. It was Blatz's first show. It was Filth's second show. Pretty sure. I don't know if Downfall played that. Downfall was the band between Operation Ivy and Rancid. One of the bands between Operation Ivy and Rancid that Matt and Tim started. I think they did play that. Anyway, it's kind of weird because the East Bay punk scene had such attention to it that I feel like, I'm mentioning this person.
Name drop all you like, man. Go for it. No,
but it's like any scene, right? It's interconnected. Like we could be talking about the scene of Philly, where it's not so well known, or we could be talking about the scene of Brisbane, Australia, or we could be talking about the scene of Krakow, Poland, and you have all these interconnections, and so it doesn't really matter.
Sure.
But and so it kind of went on from there, and then after a while, we decided that we wanted to have our friend Anna join, but you just heard me confuse it. I'm not sure if we actually wanted Annie or Anna, but we asked both of them.
Sure.
And so both of them joined.
Sure.
And we're like, okay, this makes sense. I think,
yeah.
And so we became 6 roommates in a band, a 6-way marriage that was completely ridiculous. And there were very few shows where all of us showed up. Because we're all doing stuff, But I mean,
but that totally worked. The male-female vocal thing totally worked, and not many punk bands still don't do that, right?
No, they don't. I don't know why. I mean, I think
it totally works, right? Yeah,
it makes it more interesting, than just a sausage fest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was just a happy accident, really. It wasn't your intention to change the course of punk history by introducing this new way of operating.
No, it was. We were just a chaos band.
Sure.
A chaos-based band. Like really, like that was not an act. We were just completely chaotic and out of control. And it was really good that Annie, who was the high-pitched screamer, and Anna, who's a more mid-tempo, mid-level singer, they had such distinctive voices. I didn't do much with my voice at all during Blatz, which is what it is.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, honestly, like I was kind of more just holding down the bottom end, really, while they did their thing. But it was, but that was really good too, because they brought in a lot of different ideas and kind of, I think, really pushed the musicians to try different things musically. And it was like Anna was finding her kind of very, she was probably started out, I guess you would classify her as bi, perhaps, but eventually very quickly became pretty lesbian, and Marshall is gay, the bassist. We were, and there weren't a lot of super out bands, and we didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And then so we really quickly identified with Club Statute, which was a club night, a gay club night over in San Francisco of like young ACT UP queers. ACT UP was an organization that fought for recognition of gay, lesbian, transgender, everybody, especially in response to the AIDS epidemic that was just destroying huge swaths of the San Francisco gay community.
Sure. I mean, I can get why that's kind of cool inside the Gilman, but how was it when you went to other cities and stuff? How were you welcomed in that way?
Depended on the place.
Yeah.
I mean, we never took any shit, but we also were smart enough to run when we needed to.
Right.
But I mean, we didn't really have a lot of super dangerous situations. We were cut off, threatened by security. The back of our 7-inch on Lookout has a quote, "Honey, it's not nice to spit in the customer's face." That came from a waitress at this place called Redwood City Pizza, where Blatz played. And basically, went down to my boxer shorts, my underwear pants.
Sure. Yeah.
Pants for you British people.
Sure.
And the people running the show were like, "Oh, you have to put on your trousers, otherwise they're going to stop the show." And I was like, "Fuck that, punk rock, whatever."
Yeah.
And so then I look over and I see like the hulking security starting to lumber towards me, and I'm like, "Zoinks, out stage left." And so like ran out the back door with my buddy, and we jumped in his pickup truck and split.
Right. You know,
you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run.
That's right.
But I didn't put my trousers back on.
There you go.
Before.
You got to hold your ground. Yeah. That's cool. Like you say, So it's all pretty chaotic, and it didn't last too long. I mean, how was it when I think you got back together in 2013 for the live album?
Yeah.
So how was it getting back together for that?
It was absolutely insane. It had been 21 years since we had been a band. Like we had broke up in January of 92, or played our last show in January 92. We played a festival at Gilman Street called the Rage Festival in August of 92. Just a one-off. And then that was it until 21 years later. I don't remember. I had always said I would never do it. And then after about 2 decades, I was like, fine, I don't care.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
Basically, I'm just like, all right. But by that point, the Grups, we had done like 7 months of shows in 2011. The Criminals had gotten back together after many years of being broken up. And we were around for about 2.5 years. As the second time around. So I was like, okay, well, people are having fun. We're having fun. And then somehow Blatz came up. And so I helped contact everybody. And Annie was the one that was a real question mark until the night of the show, really.
Right.
Because she came to a practice, 2 practices, and it was great to see her. It was great to see everybody. Like she was in a very different place than she was when she was in the band. It still is. And we had all kind of gone different directions. And so it was really great to get back together and hang out and remember that we really liked each other, even though I swore I would never be in a band with at least one of them ever again.
No names.
I think that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I said it a lot in other places, so people are really interested.
All right.
Right. Okay.
But it doesn't matter because it worked out really well and it was really fun. We played to the biggest pit I've ever played to, I was just like, holy Christ on a crutch. But people were having a great time, and friends wanted to uh, record it, and they filmed it actually. Our band, as a band, has historically been, don't film us, don't take photos. And so I told them, I've never cared. Okay. But other people in the band have. So I had to tell the people who are filming it, like, well, if you film us, it's at your own risk. Like, you might
Right.
get, a microphone thrown at your camera. So they filmed it, but I think they stayed out of range.
Okay.
Um,
Right.
but everybody knew in the band knew that we were recording it to put out, because I wanted to do a benefit record for our friend Micah the Psycho, bassist from Filth, who was fighting cancer at the time in 2013. Unfortunately,
Right.
by the time it was all mixed and mastered and ready to go, he passed away. He had passed away in, I think, 2015, and it came out in 2016, no, maybe 2015. Anyway, he had passed away before the record came out. So instead, we made it a benefit for Gilman Street,
Oh, that's great.
which is still
Yeah,
is.
that's really nice. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it came together. And we played a second show the next night over at the Phenomenauts warehouse, a place called the Command Center in Oakland.
Mm.
And that was that was looser. But it was equally as fun. And it was like another 300 people. And it's just a huge warehouse, just really crazy scene. And a bunch of other bands played. It was really, really fun. Both nights were really great. And it was great to meet those people again and practice. And I definitely remembered a few things that I was like, oh yeah, if we were in a band permanently, this would not be doable. But
Sure.
for a couple shows.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to the scene again. So you mentioned like Operation Ivy, Rancid, Green Day, whatever. When that did start to break out and become massive, what did you think? How was it perceived on the ground?
Oh, for the most part, really badly.
Yeah, were people like, you sell out fuckers, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very difficult thing, because all these people, we had all grown up together. And I mean, I got there in 89. I was 18 going on 19. But some of these people had grown up with each other since they were in grammar school and elementary school, like 6, 7, 8 years old. So like much further back than me. But it was definitely a very strong division. And there weren't very many people in the DIY scene who were like, oh, that's a great idea.
Oh, really?
Sign to a major label.
Yeah.
We just had the whole situation with Nirvana signing in, kind of like everybody looking for the next Seattle.
Sure.
And nobody thought that. I mean, the thing is, all of the bands that were, or at least initially, offered real major label money or deals were bands that worked really hard, that toured all the time. Rancid were offered from Sony. They turned it down, but they toured 24/7. Green Day obviously were offered and took it. Warner toured 24/7. Offspring 24/7, out there all the time. Later on, bands like AFI, around the same time, Jawbreaker in 95, 96, whenever they signed, they toured all the time. And all of those bands had become popular organically. Well, I mean, Offspring became huge off of a radio hit, like probably the last organic radio hit for an independent label, at least, I would say.
Yeah. So you think they didn't change their sound? They didn't sell out their sounds? It was just that the major labels kind of picked up on it.
They picked up on it. I mean, Dookie, half the Green Day debut, major label debut, are songs that they've been playing on Kerplunk, the Last Lookout record. So I mean, like there was no real sound change. The only change you could say is definitely when Jawbreaker signed. Blake had, I think, polyps removed from his throat, so suddenly he was singing much more smoothly than he was on the record. And it was noticeable. And but I would say that's the only real change I can think of. Like
Right.
I mean,
Did they become dicks? Or did they, like, when they were back in town, were they hanging out at the Gilman just with everyone else, or did they become
when you
like
say
rock
they,
star? Or
who are we talking?
anyone.
Oh, um, no, eh, they were still the same people.
Mm,
Personally,
mm,
I mean, I've always been somebody who's, I don't know if you could say, reach across the aisle, to borrow a political term. I don't know.
sure.
Um, I'm somebody who can separate the artist from their business and the person from their business.
Mm,
And I always said to the Green Day guys, I was like, I think what you're doing is business wise not a great idea. Because for me, signing to a major means that your art is helping to fund making missiles, nuclear weapons, things like that.
sure.
Really not great things.
Mm,
So, artistically, I wouldn't want my creativity as a part of that system.
mm, mm.
I'm never going to have that choice. So it's easy for me to say, all right. And I know that.
Do you think at
That's
the
fine.
time, if you had, would you have gone for a major label if they'd have come
No,
and
I wouldn't have.
you wouldn't have
No.
done? Yeah.
Partly because I also saw my friends Rancid
Mm,
stay on an independent.
sure.
They're still on an independent,
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's one of the biggest independents on the planet, but, you know, um, Mr. Brett Gurewitz still owns Epitaph.
Yeah.
They're on Hellcat, which is co-owned by Tim Armstrong.
Yeah.
So the sub-label of Epitaph. So, and then obviously bands like Fugazi proved
Yeah.
that you didn't need even a huge label. You just needed your own label.
Yeah.
You just needed to be a Fugazi
Sure.
or a Rancid of the world. That's the missing part right there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but then, as the major labels were like, oh, this punk rock thing. Okay, well, people like it. And a lot of these grunge bands are all signed up, all the Stone Temple Pilots and the Mudhoneys and Pearl Jams of the world are all signed up. Let's go to punk rock. And suddenly they're signing these tiny bands like Schlep Rock or Buck Trumpet, both from Los Angeles, both very entertaining bands, but major label.
Yeah.
There were a lot of, like, our friends, LES Stitches, a later band of mine called the Criminals. We did a few tours with the LES Stitches from New York City. They were on a major label subsidiary called NG Records. And so they had like a nice new van and like they stayed in motels every night and they were opening for us and we were not a big band.
Right. Oh, wow.
But that was the insanity of the major label thing. And like, it really was, excuse me, it was a really crazy time. But locally, people were very upset because, as I said before, they were our friends. We came up with them. We had this shared scene, DIY ethos, Tim Yohannan and Maximum Rock and Roll, anti-capitalist, anti-corporate, anti-money, really. And then you have the whole idea of, are you, what are your ethics? Are you betraying them by signing on the dotted line with a big corporation, a multinational corporation, et cetera, et cetera? And then, are you accessible anymore? Can you play Gilman Street? Probably not, et cetera, et cetera. And then, I mean, this is all like literally thousands and thousands of letters to all the fanzines in the world, right?
Right. Yeah.
So just imagine all of that right there. Okay, so that's all those thousands and thousands and thousands of letters about selling out and, pro and con, mostly con. And then on the other side, I was one of the people who put forth the no major label band rule at Gilman Street, even though my band Criminals was about to sign to Adeline Records, which is, I think it's gone now, but it was a record label, independent record label, co-owned by Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, his wife Adrienne, Jim Thiebaud, pro skater from Deluxe, and I think Doug from Screw 32 was. I don't remember if there was a fourth owner. Anyway, independently owned, but I mean, certainly the
By a big
owners,
rock star. Yeah.
yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said, I'm somebody who can separate people from their business dealings, and the art from the artist in one way.
Sure. Yeah.
That has its limits.
Yeah.
But basically, we put up something at Gilman Street that passed that said bands that are major labels or subsidiaries of major labels can't play, because we did not want to see the East Bay become another Seattle or another Athens, Georgia, where REM were from. And so that was just a maelstrom of major labels sniffing around for the next Husker Du or the next REM, you know. Just like in Seattle, they were sniffing around for the next Nirvana.
Yeah. Does that rule still in place in Gilman Street?
As far as I know.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
As far as I know. I mean, it almost, but it was something that was hotly debated, and like people wanted to go further, but I think there were enough of us there who were realistic about what our limits were and what we could and couldn't actually do. Like one person I love, great person, heart in the right place, was like, any band that has a video on MTV, and that's dating this conversation, because obviously there haven't been videos on MTV for decades, didn't be able to play Gilman. So I was like, well, okay, I understand why you're doing that, because videos were seen at the time very much as part of like the big money music scene, music industry. You know, if you were big, you had a music video. I was like, okay, so how are you, and this is all pre-internet, really. How are you going to know if a band has a video? Well, I'm like, are you going to watch MTV for 24 hours a day? Like, how are you going to know? Like, you know, and is it just MTV? There's video shows on other channels? Are those okay? And it just kind of felt like that kind of
when you get into
attempt at being really politically on target, but unrealistic. We were able to really avoid most of those situations. So we tried to keep it as simple as possible.
Sure. Yeah. Can you talk a bit about working with Billy Joe with the Criminals? I think he did some production and whatever for the band. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah, he did a lot. We did a 7-inch at Catbox Studio. So we basically have recorded at 3 different houses where he's lived. He lived in Berkeley, across from this Catholic school in North Berkeley. We did at a place called the Catbox, I think that was the name of it, in his basement. Basically, they were all basement studios. But who he is and the resources he had, they're really nice studios.
Sure.
So
nice gear.
Yeah. So like we did like a 7-inch that came out on Rhetoric Records eventually. It's like a picture disc. And then we did our Lookout record, Never Been Caught.
See it behind me?
Yeah. Thumbs up. All right. And that was really fun. And we had people over to do sing along for Fascists Eat Donuts, which is a Joe Papa Pies cover at the very end. It's like the hidden track where you have to lift up the needle to get to the hidden track. And that was really fun. And then we did, once we were on Adeline Records, we did that record at a third house of his. I mean, he didn't have them at the same time. From place to place. So,
Right.
So this one was in the Oakland Hills, near where the Oakland Hills fire.
That was his private house, but it had a studio in the basement, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
It was on a hill, so like there were like levels of the house on the ground floor and the top floor, but then you could exit from the basement.
Right, because it's on a hill. Yeah.
Anyway, but that was a really, really nice studio, and we did a lot of recording there. That's also where the Frisk, I think we did our recording there. So the Frisk was my band after the Criminals. We did 2 records for Adeline in 2001 and 2003. The Adeline Criminals record was 98, and then 96, 97 was the Lookout one. I don't know. Discogs.
Sure.
It's all right. But it was great. Like, and you know, like he knew us. Like he came up. We all came up together. So he knew the
Yeah,
punk scene.
yeah.
And that's the thing. Like all these people who, like, I don't know what it's like with indie rock bands who get big. I have no idea. That's not my scene. But I know that in punk rock, the people who came from punk rock, who really came from punk rock, whether it's NoFX or Bad Religion or Jello Biafra, they come from punk rock. Like they come from folding your own 7 inches and putting them in bags, and like, you know, like the whole 9 yards, like reading Max McRoll and getting the newsprint on your fingers kind of thing. Like they know it heart and soul, and it's like really deeply embedded. And so I think that's why working with Billy was really easy, because we were from the same place. All of us were. And so, you know, and even now, like the Green Day crew, a lot of them are still East Bay punks from that scene. And, you know, they're doing a lot different things now. But at the same time, like there is a lot of callbacks, like, you know, with Murray Bowles dying a few years ago. He just put out his book, Hail Murray. He was a photographer in the East Bay and San Francisco Bay Area. He took tons of classic photos, and he's on Richie Booker drew him into the cover of Dookie. He's a guy with a beard and glasses with a camera, holding up a camera. And that's how he'd take photos. He would just be on the side of the stage or by the pit, just hold up his hand and just, and this is like not digital camera. This is just a film camera. Just take photos. And then he'd go home and look through, you know, develop it, look through the contact sheet, dating myself there again, and pick the photos to print, you know? And so he did that for everybody. And like he would come to shows the next weekend with a backpack full of photos, physical photos, and you could go through and you could find photos of yourself and your friends just in the pit, or just being stupid at a house party, or like, you know, well, you know, whatever, the band, your favorite band, or you in a band, you know, on stage, you know, in a backyard playing next, you know, keg party or something. And so I went to go see, I've gone to see Green Day a few times over here when they've come over, and, you know, they've been super welcoming. It's been great to see them in person, but also they have all this stuff from Dookie, and they have a whole bit about Murray Bowles, who was one of us. And
nice. Yeah.
So like that kind of connection, if you know it, you see it, you're like, oh,
yeah, it's still there.
There we go. Much respect.
Nice.
That
I like
authenticity. I guess I've kind of come a long way around to saying that.
Sure.
But at the same time, like, yeah, they're one of the biggest rock bands on the planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they, but at the same time, they also have been able to come back, and this is why I'm not sure what the current thing at Gilman is, but they played a benefit at Gilman for friends of ours who were burnt out of their place, the old AK Press warehouse, maybe 2014, 2015. They played a special one night thing at Gilman. And other bands have too, like Offspring. We booked them at this place called the Cornerstone in Berkeley, and they raised $30,000 for Gilman Street by playing their first Epitaph record, Ignition, from start to finish. And it was like $50 to get in. And it sold out instantly, like 500.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, this was like an early, like mid 20-teens fundraising attempt by Gilman Street. I was one of the people who was part of the fundraising committee, and we were like, oh, that was a really quick $35,000.
Sure.
Thank you. Like, and Offspring, like, because they were just another punk band too until their radio hit.
Yeah.
Like we played with them all the time. You know, they played Gilman all the time, so they knew. And again, same thing. Like, there are also people who come from the scene and know it intimately, and it's part of them, even if they've chosen different directions than a lot of us.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. You mentioned Jello Biafra. Did you work for Alternative Tentacles for a while? Is that right? What were you doing there, and how was it?
I worked there for 15 years.
Oh, that's a long time. Okay.
Yeah. So for 5 years, first 5 years, I ran the mail order, or as we say in the biz, direct sales.
Sure.
Right.
And then after that, I was the general manager.
Oh,
So
wow.
I ran Alternative Tentacles.
Mm.
And it was really tight times. It's still tight times at Alternative Tentacles AT, but it's basically I ran it for 10 years. Jello is the owner.
Is he hands-on?
No, and he's well, yes and no.
Mm.
Yeah. Anybody who's run AT can tell you tales. It's really entertaining, as it can be. It's even when it's maddening, it's not malicious at all. It's just he's a perfectionist, and when he gets involved with something, he wants to be sure that XYZ and ABC all line up, all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, which is understandable. But he's also well aware of his own limitations, which I think is rare in owner operators of labels, especially ones that are as long running as AT. Like he once told me, he was like, the reason he's like, I hire people like you, Jesse, because if I ran Alternative Tentacles, we would have been out of business the first year. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Like he's very creative. He has a really great ear, but business wise, like he would want to put a lot of effort, a lot of financial resources into projects that would probably never come close to even breaking even.
Mm.
I mean, because he loves them.
Yeah.
You know, it's all like there's nothing malicious about it. Nothing malignant about it. Just like he loves his band. He thinks they're the bee's knees. He wants them out in the world. It's like, okay, well, how can we get them out in the world under the AT logo, but in a way that makes financial sense when times are tight? So I did a lot of work. One of my favorite things was recreating long out of print things. I worked very closely with Gary Floyd and the Dicks on reissuing Kill from the Heart, and the second record. I'm going to hell for this now. The one with the little boy's feet and Anti-Clan, and as soon as we hang up, I'm going to remember. Anyway, we reissued the two Dicks records. We reissued everything that Really Red, great band from Austin, Texas, put out. They were most well known for their seminal record, Teaching Me the Fear, which is this insane, really subversive, very artistic, very punk record from Houston, Texas in like 1980, 1981, like when, you know, it was all pickup trucks, you know, driving by, punks going, you know, just anti-gay epithets as they pass by and cloud of dust. Like, you know, if you weren't actually getting beat up by the Cowboys. Like, it was really, like, I mean, punks in Texas, it was like punks anywhere free Green Day.
Sure.
There was always a bad place to be that you could get beat up for. Or you could get beat up at. So I worked with them, worked with a band called The Inbred, Subhumans from Canada, who I mentioned before. I mean, all these, I got to work with a ton of just absolutely wonderful people and legendary bands. I talked with Doc Dart from The Crucifix, who is one of my favorite bands, or sorry, who's the lead singer for one of my favorite bands, The Crucifix. Doc Dart changed his name to 26 to the number 26.
He's changed his name to the number 26.
Yeah, he's, as far as I know, he's still known as 26. He's very unique.
Sure.
He was really tough to track down because he doesn't do.
Couldn't Google him.
No. But I mean, a lot of it was like just trying to track people down and say, look, we owe you money. You know, here's what we can pay you, and here's how soon we can pay you. I helped get Leftover Crack on the label. I worked with people like Gary. Oh God, I have Michael Parenti, who's a historian, author. You probably wouldn't want to be called a historian, just an author who writes about history. I also had a political guy out of Berkeley, California, who's absolutely wonderful, very common sense fella. I did a DVD for him. We put out DVDs of various, a couple different movies that Jello was involved with, Terminal City Ricochet and The Widower. We tried really hard to get them onto streaming services, but at the time, and probably still even now, there was this really expensive and not guaranteed way to get them on streaming services. You had to go through a company that would transfer it to the proper format, but then the streaming services would review it. And if they said, meh, then you were out your hundreds and hundreds of dollars that you should spend to
to convert it. Yeah.
Just so many things happened. We put on some great shows. I was really super stoked to get Culture Shock and Citizen Fish onto the label. I've known Dick Lucas and those guys for forever. And what was really cool about that was Dick was like, wait, Alternative Tentacles wants us? And I'm like, yeah. And Jello was like, Dick Lucas will be on my label? Really? like the fact that those two, with all of their decades of experience, can still be excited about a collaboration.
Sure.
And working with Winston Smith, who drew the Bat logo, famous artist, he did collage work. He did the cover of Green Day Insomniac and a bunch of other artwork. If you see his collage work, you'll recognize it. Winston Smith. He also did the Dead Kennedys logo. Working with him very closely, we did a collaboration with Alternative Tentacles, Winston Smith, Shepard Fairey, and Powell Peralta skateboards. And again, that was one where each member of that collaboration was like, wait, they want to work with me? Like, it was really awesome. And, Shepard Fairey was great. Powell Peralta guys, they were awesome. Like, everybody was just solid. And it was really, really, everybody was so enthusiastic. It was really kind of renewed my faith. Any faith that was kind of flagging a little bit, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is really super. People were so excited to be there.
Yeah,
to be a part
that's
of it.
really cool. Yeah. You've been doing the Scene Killers for a few years now. Can you tell us about how that came about?
Sure. So my band Pathogens from Oakland, we came over to play the Bob Fest in Bath, England in April 2019. Bob Fest is every 2 years. It happens either Bremen, Oakland, or Bath, hence Bob. And so 2019, it was Bath's turn. And so the Bob Fest family gets together. And I was trying to get shows around it because we were flying in and out of Berlin and then driving from Germany over to here to England. And so I got a hold of Austin from this band, the Hip Priests. Hip Priests had come over to San Francisco. The Pathogens had played with them in 2018, the year before. We hit it off. So I was like, Austin, you're in Nottingham. Is there a place we could have a show? And he looked and there wasn't. But we stayed in touch anyway because I was like, yeah, we're moving over, me and my better half, to Nottingham. And he ended up helping us with a couple of bits and pieces of getting over here and getting organized. And he was like, oh, by the way, me and my buddies were going to jam. Do you want to jam with us when you get over here? I was like, yeah, sure. And so that was Scene Killers. And so basically I had a band set up. I mean, I didn't know that it was going to work out until we got here, but I had a band set up before I even set foot in England this time. So
yeah. And Austin told me you played the Gilman last year and went over. How was it going back? Oh, this year was it? I said, yeah, must be this year.
In April.
How was it going back?
It was great. It was actually for Bob Fest Oakland.
There you go.
As it happens. Well, because the pandemic messed up the timing. In case you're keeping track at home every 2 years, it didn't really work out that way. But yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, they went into the States as tourists. We borrowed literally everything except we bought drumsticks. That was the only thing we bought. Right.
So you didn't get kind of held up at customs looking like a band. That's the reason.
No, yeah, that's exactly right. I
Because
mean,
you couldn't get a
especially
work visa, or it was too expensive to get a work
there's
visa.
no way to get a work visa realistically. Like, not only is it like $5,000 per person, it's
Whoa.
something crazy. Like,
Huh.
I had to do it. I was helping Subhumans get it when I was at Alternative Tentacles in the 20 teens sometime. I remember just being like thousands and thousands of
And that's
dollars.
just to come down from Canada.
No, oh, sorry, that was Subhumans from UK.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right, right.
Yeah, Dick Lucas and that Subhuman. Sorry,
Oh, sorry.
I
Go
know
on.
Yeah.
there's two of them. But yeah, there's just no way that because also in addition to the money, you have to be a quote unquote notable band, and we're too small to be notable. Like that's a band, White Stripes are a notable band, Subhumans are a notable band. Like other bands, not so much. Smaller bands, no. And honestly, we're playing like, we played Gilman Street, we played the Arlene Francis Center, we played, small clubs up and down the West Coast, and we played one of the best shows. So Northern California. If you've been to Northern California, you would recognize it as being quintessentially small town Northern California. We played the Black Butte Railroad Museum, which is basically. Do you guys know what train hoppers are? Train hoppers are crusties.
Not really.
They're basically punk rock hobos,
Right.
or hobos from a punk rock background, and so they hitch rides on freight trains, and travel wherever they go. They get all dusty and dirty.
Okay.
Sure.
A lot of them are alcoholics or drug addicts, unfortunately.
Right.
They live in free life. They dumpster dive, and they travel where they want, sleep where they want.
Right.
It's a mixed bag. But anyway, so the Black Butte Railway Museum is basically it's an outdoor patch of land. It's pretty big. It's right next to a major rail line, coincidentally, not coincidentally at all. With a bunch of cabooses and other rolling stock, aka box cars and things like that. It has a hobo library just filled with books related to trains, hobo art, hobo fiction, hobo biographies, history of trains and transportation and hobos.
Sure.
A lot of fanzines, and that's one boxcar, and then connected to that is the boxcar where the shows are, which has a PA in it, and you play in one end of the boxcar, and then the two side doors are wide open. Yeah. It's really absolutely incredible, and you're near Mount Shasta, which is this huge mountain off of the 5 as you go up the center of California, north of Sacramento. You look to the east, and it's just this huge snow-capped mountain. And so we're out near Mount Shasta. So you look out, you have all these pine trees around, you have Mount Shasta, you have drunken hobo kids and crusties drinking crap beer and we're all playing punk rock and just having a grand old time out in the middle of nowhere. So that was, and then we played Gilman Street with Subhumans from here in UK. So we went 5,000 miles to play with a band. We played with as one does. But my band had never played Gilman Street, and they'd always, as punks growing up, they'd always heard about Gilman, and they'd never been there, let alone played what turned out to be a sold out show. So they were so over the moon, and they met Jello then. And so they were just, at one point, Austin, the guitarist, took the mic from me and was like, just said this really nice, sweet thing about, growing up punk and always dreaming about actually coming to see Gilman Street, and then how this had exceeded his expectations. And it was really, really sweet. And like that kind of emotional connection is, I think, something that is super punk and super related to punk rock at this level, and you can hear a band or see a show or experience some art and just, get, the hair on the back of your neck goes up.
Sure.
You start to tear up.
That's it.
Whatever emotion you feel gets very, it just wells up in you, whatever that emotion is. And that's the sign of great art and great creativity.
Sure.
Great experiences.
Yeah, 100%. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Neil, do you want to ask our final question? Because we kept you a long time. Sorry.
We asked all of our guests the same question. If you could have been in any other band in the 90s, who would it have been and why?
Would I be playing the same thing? Would I be a singer?
Anything you want.
You could do whatever you want.
Oh. Ooh.
Possibilities have opened up.
Right.
90s, huh? Okay.
That's the rule.
90s. This might be too easy, but I would have loved to have been in the Ramones.
Oh.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
They still are one of my favorite bands ever. I saw them whenever I could. Saw them probably a dozen times. Met them on the Lollapalooza when they were on there with Rancid, opening for Metallica, aka the Metallica show with good openers.
Sure.
But
Ramones, Rancid, and Metallica. That's insane. Yeah.
And Soundgarden in the middle there too.
Okay. Wow.
Right.
Yeah. So, and there was this band called, I don't remember the opening band. Never mind. Apocalyptica, of course. It was Apocalyptica.
Were they like that classical metal band? Was that Apocalyptica? No.
I think it's somebody else. They were more glammy 90s alt.
Sure.
Maybe.
Right.
I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I met and hung out with the Ramones, and I was just like, oh, this is wonderful. Like, and then CJ ended up moving to East Bay, and he is just a darling. Mm-hmm. He's a great dude. Like, he's very down to earth. I mean, all of them are really down to earth. Like, what? They're the fucking Ramones.
Sure.
They're not like,
sure.
You got a good 2-syllable name for it too. Jesse Ramone would fit in completely well. You can't have a Neil Ramone or a Luke Ramone with only one syllable.
No,
but Jesse Ramone would totally work.
Yeah. But I mean, just because, and I think Adios Amigos, their final record, is absolutely incredible. Like, it's a great record. And and then Halfway to Sanity and Brain Drain are two excellent records as well. So I mean, I'm a fan of a lot of their later stuff as well as, of course, the
classic stuff. Yeah. That's a great answer. All right. Where's the best place for people to go to listen to the Scene Killers or listen to Criminals and Blatz or whatever, or to buy Scene Killers records and stuff? Where's the best place for people to find that?
Bandcamp. Bandcamp has Scene Killers. It has our new record that came out on. It's on Brass Neck Records from Wales here in Great Britain. It's also on Lava Socks Records out of El Cerrito, Northern California, basically East Bay from California. So if you're on that side of the pond, get it from Lava Socks.
I've been trying to source it locally over here in Japan. I haven't found it yet, but I'll keep
Socks. Lava Socks is your best bet. Or if you're in touch with 1234 Go Records in Oakland, Steve, I know he's planning to come over to Japan, and he comes over to buy records.
Okay.
I know he's heading over there pretty soon, so he might be able to bring some stuff to, so it doesn't hurt to drop him a line.
Sure, cool.
But so Bandcamp, you can also find all of those bands are also on all of the streaming services, and Apple Music. I have the label that Kamala and I started to put out, the Grups records, back in the early 90s. I still run that as kind of like the digital side of things. And so I have a Zafio Records Bandcamp page with the live Blatz and the live Filth album, all the Grups stuff, the Criminals, the Frisk. And then the Pathogens are also up on Bandcamp, run by everybody in Oakland, from the Pathogens. So
okay, that's great.
We're out there, You can stream it or find it, and you can find it in record stores if you're lucky or unlucky.
No, it's great stuff, man. It's great.
Lucky.
Yeah.
And also, if I could, I'm sorry, I have a weekly radio show. I would, called Losing It with Luscious. It's on MMH Radio, which is physically based right outside of Manchester. here in England, and I do it every week from here at home in Nottingham, and it's every week. It's punk rock, it's weirdo music. Sometimes it goes all over the map. I am in the East Midlands, so this is a very metal area.
Yeah,
a lot of metal. So it does. I do tend towards the heavy sometimes. I worked at Earache Records for about a year while I was here.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I got exposed to stuff I had heard of but never actually heard. If that makes sense. And so some of it I really liked. But I'm not going to grow out my hair anytime soon, though.
Sure. Can I ask? Are you still in the punk rock industry? Do you still do punk? What do you still do? Other stuff?
Yeah, I don't have
except for being in a band. I mean,
yeah, sure. No, I don't have a day job in music like I did for a few decades. When I moved over here, I worked at a pressing plant called Package Sounds in southern England for 3 years. Then I worked at Earache Records, and now I work for the city of Nottingham, doing completely unrelated work. But I do have something called Town Man Music, which I do things here and there for North American bands and North American labels who want to do business over here in the UK and in the EU. Yeah, it is what it is. It's slow going. Yeah. It's not, it's definitely not my day job.
Okay, but it just keeps your hand in a little bit and keeps you connected.
Exactly. And I also put on live shows as well.
Okay.
Because
cool. Around a lot of Nottingham area.
Yeah. So under the name Luscious Presents. So.
Okay, that's great. That's cool. Right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go. Jesse Townley. Interesting guy, wasn't he, Dave?
Yeah, lovely guy. So such a... I listened first before I saw his face.
Okay.
And watched the video. But yeah, he's got such a smooth voice.
He has,
really like that.
Got a fake radio voice.
It's a calm demeanor, isn't it? It's a calm demeanor.
Yeah. I thought
he looks pretty good as well.
All right.
He does.
Fucking hell. Calm down, Dave.
Well, he must be like 55, right?
Yeah, if he was like 18, 19 in 89, yeah.
He doesn't look, he looks younger than we do.
He does. He looks good.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what you get for having a lifetime of no racism, homophobia, alcohol, and violence. That's what you get.
Well, he's had a bit of violence though.
He has had a bit of violence. He didn't perpetuate that. He was stopping the violence.
A bit of violence.
Yeah. No, that's true.
So I haven't had the violence bit. Touch wood. Alcohol.
But you have been incredibly racist and homophobic for most of your life.
That's not true.
What's the point you're trying to say?
Saying I was just trying to work out how many of the things we had done. Just
right. Okay. You've been sexist and racist and homophobic and transphobic, and you've taken drugs and drunk alcohol, but you just haven't had violence. Is that your claim?
No, that's not my claim. Let's move on from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it's a scene that I said earlier on, I don't really know much about. Obviously, I've heard Offspring and Green Day and stuff. It was interesting to hear how those bands came to prominence and just hear about that whole little scene that was sort of bubbling along.
It's cool, right?
Didn't really know much about. Were you aware of it at the time?
No, I wasn't. No.
Right.
Much later.
Dave?
No. But yeah, I mean, we obviously know the bands, right?
Offspring, I remember when Green Day came out.
But didn't really know where they came from.
That's the thing, isn't it? When bands become sort of big, a lot of the time you don't know the backstory, do you, to how these bands get to where they are. And that it's interesting to hear the backstory. Well, yeah, you do, but it was interesting to hear. Well, you didn't know at the time where Green Day come from, did you?
No, that's true. At the time, I didn't know.
So yeah, I found all that stuff really interesting because they don't usually just appear, do they? There's usually some sort of scene that propels them to where they are.
And it's only recently, really, that I realised that they were classed as punk. Those
Green
bands.
Day.
Yeah. So I always think
because
of punk as being quite British, but
right,
obviously
okay.
isn't.
Yeah.
much wider.
Yeah, they had their own
that.
thing going on over there, didn't they? Same with
I
Offspring.
call them pop punk. I would call them pop punk rather than just punk.
Is
by
that
itself.
just because they got successful, though? Because he did allude to the fact that they hadn't really changed their sound when they became big and stuff. They always sounded like that.
Yeah, true. But if you listen to the early Green Day, they are poppy though. They've got the melodies and the hooks, and it's less. The production's not that shiny, but the hooks and the melodies are there. So it's still pop punk, I think, even before they were famous.
Yeah, same with Offspring, right?
But again, but not everyone in that scene is like that, right? So there's a band that I discovered just from reading and learning about the scene, Spitboy, that I really like recently, and they sound like a crust punk, like all female kind of crust punk band, basically.
Yeah, I guess it's
completely different.
When we did the grunge episode with Jacob the other week, it was interesting how different all the grunge bands were.
Yeah.
Similar sort of thing, I guess, isn't it? It's just a scene. Yeah. It doesn't mean they necessarily all sound the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess we should talk about the start, the fact that he's here in the UK and he's gone back and people there are thinking about exit strategies for the
It's not safe to be a trans or queer person in America today. That's horrifying.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it's all going, to be honest, but find out, I guess.
Well, we hope it stops, right? But it's a bit like what happened in Russia under Putin. It was quite slow, took about 20 years. Basically bullied all the oligarchs to be on side, and that's exactly what Trump's done with their oligarchs, the billionaires, Bezos and Musk and all that lot. It's just exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, if Trump's still there in 10 years' time, then we know that it's fucked. And
the dude won't be alive, will he?
But then you got to worry about what's going to fill up that vacuum.
Yeah.
But it's not nice to hear, is it? That people are wanting to leave their country because they're scared to be there.
Yeah, it's horrible. What do you think about the nerd punk crossover? It's
I can see it.
Yeah.
Did I miss that bit?
Yeah, it's right at the start. He said he was kind of a nerd. He said there's a big crossovers between nerds and punks.
Okay, yeah. Oh, was that when we were talking about where you sat on the table at high school?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a metaler nerd crossover, right? Most metalers are nerds, aren't they? But punks are not always nerds. Oh, come on. They're like black jean wearing, Robot Wars watching fucking nerds, aren't they?
Hey, we might have someone there.
Oh, it's not a negative thing. It's just a description.
There's another class of nerds, right? You're talking about the scientific nerds, but you've also got the literary nerds, which is on your side of nerddom, Luke.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there were any nerds at our school. Can't remember the groups.
Of course there were.
Yeah, there were some.
Yeah, and they became metalers.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, that'd be an interesting study there. Interesting to see how many of them are into Robot Wars.
Oh, all of them are probably like super rich, like computer programmers like Dave now, aren't they? Those nerds at school.
I mean, Dave nearly went metal, didn't he? He had the look.
He dyed his hair black.
I was never metal in any way.
You did dye
your hair black and had a brown leather jacket.
Well, the jacket was kind of just a bit of a curveball, but the hair
showed him.
Yeah, well, it was just nothing, was it? It just fell from the sky onto my back.
Look good, man. Look good.
The red moped finished off the look.
Good, man. It's good. Imagine just getting in a car and just driving 3,000 miles and just moving your entire life across the other side of the country.
I do it all the time.
I guess so.
I drove down to Portugal, didn't I?
Yeah, I guess so.
In my red Fiesta.
Yeah.
It's not
3,000 miles.
That's the same, isn't it?
That's a long way.
Yeah.
How far is it from here to Portugal?
About 600 miles.
Oh, is it? And not quite the same then.
Maybe more than that. More than that, but it's nowhere approaching 3,000 miles.
I mean, I would love to have been in California in 1989. So I'd have gone with him if I was there.
Sure. Would you have stayed in a squat?
Too
No.
scared, probably.
Dave, would you have volunteered doing work where you're getting paid like actual money?
Oh, no, he wouldn't.
Can't see it, to be honest.
No, I can't see you doing
volunteer.
that.
No. Otherwise, he'd be driving those buses, wouldn't you? The old, what they
Which
call
buses?
The
The
cook-
15
the
bangers.
buses.
Now cook me a bus.
They're all
Yeah,
volunteers
they
driving them, yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave won't do
No
be
money
doing
for
that
real
anytime soon.
buses.
Yeah. I like the fact that he got suspended for playing slave to my dick in the school. It's great.
Who gets
Did you ever
suspended?
get suspended?
No.
No.
We were too.
I got lots of detentions, but never
got.
got suspended.
You didn't get any detentions.
I got loads.
Neither of you got any.
I did it down in lower school. I did. I got a few.
Yeah,
that was in my
me too.
peak.
You were
I thought I was worried it was going to harm my major credit aspirations. I just forgot a couple
You're just
of times.
talking about all class detentions, aren't you?
Yeah.
No.
Single. I forgot to do my homework a couple of times.
No, individual detentions. I got a few.
Oh, you didn't get any? You're surprised you
Me
didn't
and
get
you
one
had
for
a
wearing
couple,
that
Dave.
fucking-
Me and you had a couple
You should have got
together.
one for wearing that sailor earring.
Lunchtime
Did we?
detentions.
But lunchtime detention, that doesn't count.
It's a
Of
detention.
course it does.
They get
didn't get any.
solitary now.
It
He
was
did
no,
for
but
me.
the
We had a
punishment-
couple of lunchtimes for mucking about in math class, me and Dave.
There you go.
All right, yeah.
Because I couldn't
Solitary,
do
what they put-
the vaulting display team practice because I had the lunchtime detention with you.
What was better?
Yeah, mucking
that
about in
vaulted
maths.
team, that was good. That.
It's worth it. It's
Yeah.
worth it.
What do you mean solitary? They stick them in like a padded room with those things.
I think so, yeah. That's one of the punishments to get nowadays.
Dave, how's None in a Honda for a band name?
Good. It just made me think of Nuns on the Run. Do you remember that film?
Oh,
You
God. We
bastard.
talked about this before. I hate it.
I reckon they must have watched that and that's where they got the name from.
Did they get in a Honda in the film?
Think so.
But
Might have been a
probably
Mini.
isn't. Right.
It would have been before the film, though. When was the Nuns on the Run?
88, 89?
Oh, but it was in
It's a smash, wasn't it?
About
Nuns
the same
on the
time.
Run.
Yeah.
Is there Nuns on the Run
Yeah,
too?
It was a big. Yeah, I think there was.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's disgusting.
Not for good. Not me. Not for me. Not good.
I really like the invitation, the conversation about, which I think he described very distinctly about the independence and the major record labels.
Yeah.
It was really, the way he talked about that was really.
It's interesting that the scene wasn't happy, man. The scene, they didn't like it.
Yeah, and they got that no major label policy at the Gilmore venue and stuff. Yeah, it became a really big sort of no-no.
Yeah,
But do you
and
think
there's
that's true,
go on.
what you said? You know, like, if you allow yourself to go on a major label, you are supporting other industries like weapons.
No, I thought that was really interesting. I'd never thought
This is
about
why
that
people
before.
are pulling out of Spotify, right? Because they're using their money to invest in lots of fucked up shit.
Yeah,
That's the reason people are pulling out of
become a
Spotify
thing,
now. Yeah, of course.
But how you can't avoid it then, can you? Everything you
But don't
buy
sign
and
to a major
spend.
label.
Yeah, but generally,
yeah, whatever
I'm
you buy
supporting
in a
it then
shop.
by subscribing to Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you basically have to be clean. You've got to pull out of it basically all modern life.
No, it's just not the
gotta be
big
more
ones. It's not the
selective.
big major.
you've got to be more
evil
selective
ones.
with the
There's
way
plenty
you
of-
consume things.
Yeah,
Gotta be
there's
more
plenty of
selective
ethical
with what you
companies
buy.
and local community shit, man.
I think people will have to start doing a little bit more research before they do things now. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, instead of blindly signing up to things, which we're all guilty of, right? So
It's a bit like that during the Gaza crisis because the kids wanted us to not buy anything linked to Israel, basically. But then that's essentially everything.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
We've had no McDonald's or Starbucks or anything for years, which has probably done us a lot of good. But, Dove soap is linked, everything's
really?
linked. Yeah.
Huh.
Unilever, which is basically all your household products. So it's not easy to actually.
It's difficult, and
withdraw your support for that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
But even but I think, I don't know, it seems like they were too. There's a story. Jello Biafra, Dead Kennedy's guy. He got beaten up at the Gilman because people were saying that he's like a sellout and he represented the man, even though he didn't at all. And he was he's Jello Biafra, man. He's like totally independent, and I think they kind of got a bit militant about it. I think, which is not helpful either.
And then like Jesse was saying, what we're going to do? Just ban everyone that's had something on MTV, which would be most people.
Yeah, exactly.
And
and MTV had some really weird fucking stuff back in the early 90s, man. Some really cool, weird shit on there.
Yeah, especially if you watched it late on, right? That's how you found some of these bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, not everyone did sign to a major. Even the ones that could have signed to a major didn't end up, chose not to sign to majors and stuff. So,
A good Offspring, though, weren't they? Still going, aren't they, Offspring? They're still putting stuff out, I think. Pretty Fly for a White Guy. What do you think about that?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Good song.
Good video, wasn't it? Fun video. It's good.
Yeah. It's good.
But Self-Esteem, it's one of my favourite songs from the 90s, I reckon. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great song. Yeah.
It is a great song. Anthem, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Dave nodding along. Jim
Dave,
song,
you got
wasn't
any
it?
points?
Jim song, when we were all there pumping iron, that was playing on the old TV.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Was it?
Pumping Iron to Offspring. Don't remember Pumping Iron.
In the legend.
I just want to keep saying
I've never
Pumping
pumped iron.
Pumped iron all the time. It's always Pumping Iron. When weren't we pumping iron? He's still pumping iron.
Yeah.
Was it you? I thought you were pumping iron anyway, getting ready for your ski trip.
Yeah, I'm pumping iron.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to be pumping
I just didn't realise that I was, I could use that phrase, but I guess I can.
Yeah.
I don't know any others.
When you pump iron, do you put like the Rocky IV soundtrack on?
No, but that would really
what do you pump
get me
iron
going,
to? Go on, what do you pump iron to? Katie Lang.
I haven't been listening to music as I've been doing it.
What?
Yeah, I listen to podcasts as well when I'm in the gym.
What? Can't pump iron to a podcast.
Oh, man. I've been listening to music on my run, though.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, and the other day, when Alcazar came on.
When what?
That was just so good. Such a good feeling.
I don't know
what
that.
came on?
Alcazar.
What's
Alcazar?
That?
They do like disco songs from Sweden.
No, Alcazar.
You must know Alcazar.
Maybe. What's their biggest hit? What's their biggest hit?
Oh, you will know it.
There'll be some Alcazar fans in the group.
Sounds familiar.
Go on.
It does sound familiar.
What happened? Did you sort of step into another gear when Alcazar kicks in?
Oh, yeah. Because it was at the right point of my run as well.
Right. Yeah.
So what's the biggest
It's a bit like
hit?
when Rocky's running along the beach, is it? A bit like that.
Yes. Now, I can't find it now.
That's funny.
Sure you didn't imagine it?
He's made up a fictional dance act in his head.
You're winding me up. You know Alcazar very well.
You don't.
Crying at the discotheque.
Yes. Oh, that's a good tune.
Yeah.
Is that them, is it?
Yeah.
I Crying at the discotheque. It's good. I didn't realise it was
Alcazar is a Swedish new disco group formed in Stockholm. This group is one of Sweden's most successful music acts, both nationally and internationally, achieving a series of hits since their debut single in 1999.
There you go. That's just me and Luke being out of touch. The kids that are listening will know what you're talking about. Crying at the discotheque.
But I'm hoping to get that onto the playlist now.
It's on there.
In amongst all the punk.
No, it's nice to get visualise your runs. Do you go around Arlington Reservoir?
Sometimes.
That's a good loop, isn't it?
I prefer just going along the road, to be honest.
Right. That's an interesting conversation.
You started. You prolonged it.
I know.
All right, I got a question related to the interview. Is it okay to punch a Nazi?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
I mean, I'm not really a puncher, but I do condone it.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear that had all that in America as well, though, like skinheads and all of that, right? It's interesting.
Can you just punch someone because you don't agree with their views? Who makes your view right over theirs, I guess, is the question, isn't it? Or are there just views that shouldn't be that?
Well, morality
shouldn't
can.
Be
But yeah, that's the thing. People forget about morality, right? And there is a right and wrong.
Yeah, I think that's, especially the current climate, that's all been sort of muddied, hasn't it? People think they're sort of right, you can say what you want sort of stuff. But I think there should still be limitations.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think we should be able to punch a Nazi.
Yeah, sure.
Apologies to any Nazis listening, but, it's just our opinions. Yeah. Luke asked a question, we answered it. Sure. Any more questions?
Sure. No, not questions, but I thought, I've got a question. If you were going to change your name to a number, what number would you call yourself? That bloke called 26 in his story.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I've thought about this.
Yeah.
And I know very clearly the number.
Go on, him.
Can you have a quick guess if you get it?
Oh, you're not going to be a cunt and say 42, are you?
Well, is that your guess?
Yeah, because I know you are a cunt, so I'm going to say 42.
No.
Thank God for that.
It's 147.
147.
It's just the number. It always comes up.
Because of the snooker break.
It's highest break in snooker, which is probably my favourite sport. But it always comes up in my life
hang
all the time.
Hang on. Since when snooker in your favourite sport?
Let it go. That's fine. Of course it is.
It always has been.
I didn't realise.
It's a good answer, man. It's a good answer.
147. I'd probably go for something
change
lower.
my name to it? Yeah.
No, yeah, of course you wouldn't. If you had to.
I think it would have to be a 2-number word. A number.
2-number word. A 2-digit number.
Maybe 27, because then I could be in the 27 club without being 27, without doing that.
Oh.
That's a bit morbid, though, but...
No,
you missed it. You missed the boat.
What do you mean?
You mean the dying at 27 thing?
Yeah, so I could still be 27 in the 27 club without doing the act. Makes no sense, but that's all I got. Luke?
I haven't even got that. I've got no idea. I don't know why I asked the question. I should have thought about it before I did.
God, you don't even know your own number.
I don't even know. You give me a number. You can choose for me. You can choose for me. What number do I look like?
You look like...
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Wish I'd never asked. I thought it was interesting that when he went... travelled to the US with the Scene Killers, they only took a pair of drumsticks because they weren't on a working visa. And it's interesting that it's that expensive and it's that difficult just to organise to play a few shows somewhere, man. It's outrageous. Yeah. There's a few years ago now, but I had tickets to see Lightning Bolt, and they got stopped at customs, and they got basically they wouldn't let them in the country basically. And
in Japan.
In Japan, yeah, because they hadn't had.
I hate rules that just make you stop you doing make life difficult.
They're a tiny little band playing like 3 or 4 shows. I mean. You know, it's
stupid. It's there just to make your life difficult. It's bullshit. I hate all that stuff. I thought that Labour was supposed to be sorting out the whole thing for bands touring Europe, but they don't seem to have done anything.
I think they are making. I think the government's making progress. I think they're going to sort that out.
They need to sort that out, like ASAP. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, so they just went with some drumsticks. Easy travel light, isn't it? Well, I think that's it for this one. I've really enjoyed that because, like I say, it's something I didn't really know much about, and it's always nice to learn something new. So it's interesting to learn about the scene. He's a lovely guy, Jesse, isn't he? Dulcet tones. Great. So if you are watching this, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, get involved in the comments. Let us know if you fans of any bands in that scene, or if you went to the Gilmore Street or anything like that. Let us know. Be interesting to hear from you. Get involved in the comments. And if you're listening, then please do rate, review. I'll check it again, see if someone's left a review. And share it with your friends so that they can find the podcast. Dave, do you want to do a little plug for All Giggly at the moment? Oh,
well, yeah, that's where the app is now, and it works on any platform, so it's not just iOS. Allgiggly.com. Facebook.com/Stupid And Contagious podcast.
But you can't download it as an app at the moment, can you?
No, when you go there the first time, it guides you on how to just put the link onto your, if you want, put the link onto your phone sort of homepage.
Right. Okay.
And then it works just like an app.
Right. All right. Go and check it out. It's good. Basically, he's revolutionising app production.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, help him out. Go and have a look. Or giggly.com. So, yeah, you can go between the podcast and Luke's mixtapes, which he'll tell you about now.
Yeah, if you're new to the podcast, welcome aboard. We don't have that many punk guests on.
No, we haven't. We need to get some.
We had Alex Boucher from Travis Cut, a UK punk band, and various other bands. But yeah, there's plenty of other kind of archives for you to dig into. And yeah, as Neil just mentioned, as 27 just mentioned, I also do a Spotify mixtape for every episode. So there'll be loads of stuff that Jesse talked about. So early Green Day, Offspring, and a load of the other things he talked about as well. Ruin, of course, plenty of Blatz and Scene Killers and Criminals and all of that as well. So I'll put a nice long mixtape because punk songs are so short. It's going to be quite a lot of tracks on it, but so enjoy that.
Short, sharp. Don't know what the next word was going to be.
Songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for this one. Join us next week for episode 116 of the Stupid and Contagious podcast. Dave?
147.
See you in a minute.